Hey guys, this is Artur from Slackmate and welcome to my gear wall. Today I'm going to be talking about different methods to tape your Highline. So we're going to start with the first one, which is sewing the backup to the main. Then we're going to talk about the eco tape. Then we go to reinforced fiberglass tape. And the last one is no residue duct tape. To the backup line. You're only going to be doing this method if you have someone to do these tapes, this sewing for you, or you can ask from the manufacturer to get this done before purchasing. So I really like this method because you avoid using tapes forever, so you won't be damaging the environment with tapes breaking and falling into the ocean or in the forest. But you can only use this method if you know that you're not gonna detape this Highline anymore. So in this case, it's because I have 60 meters of main Dyneema webbing, which is lightweight, and I also have the same webbing for backup. Okay, so I know that they work really well together. I want this for long Highlines to be sent out in the middle, and I don't need to worry about tapes anymore because they are already joined together and they are already really strongly bonded. This is the eco tape. It was made by a Brazilian Highliner. I got these a couple of years ago. They only made a small batch, so that's why I haven't seen much advertisement and marketing on this product. But I really enjoy it because it's a removable Velcro tape. So what you do is you just remove that and you can detape your Highline in seconds, and you can use this again. So let me show you how to use it. So let's say this is my backup webbing. So what you do is, so you place the tape, and it has these little legs where you Velcro the legs around where you want it to be stuck. So same thing here. I like to put it really tight together so the tape doesn't move. And then you place your main line on top of it, and you just cover and finish it up by Velcroing the top. So you can see how it is, and the main line moves freely and the backup is stuck. So that's what you want. I like this because it's versatile. You can remove anytime you want. It's really good on the wind. I have used this webbing on a 400 meter Highline, and I haven't seen it detaping at all compared to other tapes. The only thing is that with time they're gonna fade as well on the edges where the Velcro and the tapes slide. So with time they're gonna wear and they're gonna rip off. I had a few of them that got ripped off over a long period of time. So let's say 6 months of using a lot of Highlines. But I really enjoy to use the eco tapes. So the third one I want to talk about is the fiberglass reinforced tape. Okay, the one that I found in Australia is called Filament Tape. I will be adding the link below for this tape, which I found on Office Works, so you can find that online as well. It's a really good tape. The only bad thing is that it leaves residue on your webbing. So when you remove it, the glue of the tape stays and it's really sticky. So I would only use this tape when you know that you don't need to pull the Highline apart, because it's really hard. It's a very strong bond to the slack line. So you need to make sure that you're only using these tapes when you know that the Highlines will stay together for a while, or you're gonna rig for a really windy spot where I usually rig, and they really bond to the Highline. Very sticky, but very secure, very strong tape. The last taping method that I've been using nowadays, this is a no residue duct tape. The brand is 3M, and I found this on Bunnings. Okay, it comes on 2-inch wide tape, 2-inch wide, and it's a roll that you're not gonna need 2-inch wide, so I usually cut in half, so 1 inch to do your taping. So what are the pros of this? Stronger than electrical tape. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend you to use electrical tape anymore, because they're really easy to break apart. They're gonna fall into the nature, and it's weak in wind conditions. So when you roll over with your hangover, it may destroy the tape straight away. So the only occasion that I use this is because I leave this on my harness, clipped on. If there's an emergency, you are out there on the line and this is a really lightweight little roll, so I usually take that on my harness to fix any broken tapes if you are highlining. So I just leave that on my harness for emergencies. But other than that, if I'm taping a highline where I know that I need to untape the webbings later on, I usually use no residue duct tape. Why? Because it's reasonably strong. Like it's really, you know, you will stay there and the wind's not gonna break. Of course, if you keep rolling with your hangover or Rolex, it's gonna destroy with time, but it's more durable compared to the normal electrical tape. Okay, and the good thing about it is that it's really easy to rip off. So I will show you here. So you can just pull it and you can rip it off pretty easy. Doesn't leave any residues on your webbing. Okay, and you don't need scissors or knife or anything. So with the reinforced tape, you cannot break it by hand. You're gonna need scissors or knife, and it's not really nice to have knife and scissors close to your web. So okay guys, so my tips to tape a highline is that usually start from the sun loops. So let's say you have the end of your webbing, that's your static end, that's where you're gonna release the highline. So I have these sun loops already really well stuck together. Okay, I usually put one tape close to the sun loops so it stays together really nice. So what I do is we go 1, 2, and then when you're gonna put your tapes, usually sorry, usually you add 20-30 centimeters to your backup, so you just slide a little bit longer and then you have backup and main, right? I usually cut my tapes 20 centimeters long. I feel like that's very enough for me. So what you do is, so you come with the backup line, you will stick, usually, you don't need to be using a ruler all the time, but this is more like a game vision. So I usually stick 50 to 60 millimeters beyond the backup line, and then you come back in and you stick on the backup. Okay, so this part is gonna come over the main, so you can see that you're gonna be closing off this section, right? and then you go around, and what comes up is that the main line is sliding and the backup is stuck because the glued part is on the backup. So you got one tape. Make sure you are not using a pattern or a standard of spaces between your tapes, because if your backup loops they have the same length, when you have windy conditions, the backup is going to be moving on the same direction all the time, generating more energy and more movement, which will be harder for you to control when you are slacklining. So we usually go random numbers. So I usually go 2 meters, then 7 meters, and then go back to 3 meters, and then 5, and then you just keep going through random numbers all the way through the end. Okay, so that really helps out when you are in windy conditions, to make it easier for you to walk. So just remember that from one of your shoulders all the way to the end of your hand, so the opposite hand, it's about a meter. Okay, you can count that as a meter. So 1 meter, and then you make sure you have your 2 fingers run nicely. So make sure backup and main are flat, so you don't have any twists. So that's 2, and you just keep going and taping your Highline. Guys, thanks for watching. So these were the 4 different types of taping that I've been using at the moment. Remember, if you're gonna go get your webbing sewn as tapes, make sure you are using manufacturer, someone that you trust to do those, because it can damage your webbing. So make sure it's coming from a trustworthy source. And other than that, it's nice to try other types of tapes. I just don't recommend electrical tape anymore because there are other better options in the market. Okay, thank you for watching.